Hello everyone. I'm gonna be reading more of the Pokemon Ecology book today. Last stream went pretty well. Doing it again. There are some huge lore updates in this book that I love. I've been reading it a little bit more in my off time. Not much. Between the last stream and this one. But unfortunately I did read over something huge. I'm gonna put it in the corner actually. So, two things. Number one, Pokemon give birth and eggs are just a game mechanic. Number two, there are nymph forms of Pokemon. Pokemon that we see are not the exclusive shape of them, if that makes sense. Like there are transitional forms between them, which is massive. And I'm gonna need to be about this big. Flip chat on the side right there. There we go. Left chat. And then image. Add image. Ah, never mind, I'll talk about it as needed. Let's get right into it. Let's turn on a light. But I'm gonna get this picture real quick. Hello. Hi, Savior Collier. How you doing today? How's your day going between last stream and this stream? Oh, wait, that's too big. I had to snipping tool this. Good? That's good. I will turn off top fans. This is... And more turn it off and helps. And hang on, we're gonna do this real quick. Settings, privacy. Pokemon Ecology book coming out tomorrow. It's out. I'm reading it right now. What this is, but it's not translating to English. Possibly ever. So we've known about this for a while. Flygon and Crocodile will work together when hunting. Despite actually having a pretty hostile relationship with their youth. There's yet another Cubone getting tossed aside. 4 Cubones. Interesting that they hunt Drapion. Pretty neat, pretty big. There are animals in real life that use cooperative hunting tactics like this. Coyotes and badgers are the really famous one. And 1 second real quick. Perfect. You know what I should have done? I should have grabbed the guy that wrote the book. That would have been super cool. Oh well. Maybe I also should change my setup a little bit just to make reading this easier, but hey, I didn't. I'm not gonna. This page looks like it has some really big stuff at the bottom. Poor Cubone? That was almost the stream title is. That's a lot of dead Cubone. Second. I wish I had a better way to do this. Push Calamingo from behind. Guessing it's supposed to be hunt. So it's a big eater, it's not good at catching food. Teams up with Shadow Form. What is that Pokemon called? Tedzigiri. When near water, they inflate their throats to pretend to be weak. Oh, that's a Giri do. Interesting. Interesting, the different forms are to lure different prey. Okay, yes, this is what it was. Use the Hulk dug by Dread again. And or invade Diglett's burrows to make their home. Cure by eating the ground. So Onyx is actually an ecosystem engineer, which is pretty cool. So is Excadrill teams and kind of Diglett. Ooh. This also is something that we super often see in real life. Is we talked about it with the woodpeckers last stream. There are other animals, I almost said Pokemon. There are other animals with similar relationships, like armadillos will dig burrows that other animals will use. And are pretty instrumental for animals to find homes. Gopher tortoises are much the same. Now here we have a page on legendaries and ultra beasts, so who knows if this is even relevant content. I really wish I had a better way to do this. There we go. I didn't notice the message. Do I have a favorite Pokemon? Yes. Rotom is actually my favorite Pokemon. Kind of unexpected, considering, you know, wildlife biologist over here. But hey. I like it. What can I say? They're Pokemon that live by using abilities of other Pokemon to make up for abilities they don't have. Ooh. Oh, that's weird. I don't like legendaries being included in ecology stuff. I've voiced that before, just because, like, needing to perish is kind of important for it. But, not to say there isn't interesting information when they come up. Is that Eevee? No, that's a Cubone. Kind of hard to see, but it is a Cubone. Did the other image not send? It didn't. We're gonna bend with it. Those one could seem as just natural disasters in a way. Legendaries interacting with the environment, but I don't know. I don't know. Here's a real juicy looking page. We're gonna beef with Cubone? Oh. It seems so. It might also just be a joke. I like how there's always a greed in eating berries. These affect some toxic rice cakes, which brings out their desires and abilities, then pains them down to control them. Ooh. Those are electricity generated by the Emperor at the base of its tail. Since it can't generate it on its own, has to attach to other Pokemon to generate it. That's pretty cool. Same with Dedenne in a way. Pretty cool. Like more innocent parasitism. It's weird that these translated to Amoonguss and Scyther somehow. But separate from that, it's interesting that Carablast literally just steals the shell, and that's entirely how this evolution happens. Which is funny, because you're supposed to evolve them, or trade them together to evolve them. So you trade him, and on the way, he's just yoinking it from him. Kinda funny. Kinda funny. Here's we have another funny image, possibly a good emote idea. We have a Rabambi being vomited on. Beautiful flower Pokemon, but it pretends to be a bug Pokemon and attacks honey bunnies. What a cute name for Combi. Was a Pokemon? What type would I have? I don't know. Probably part bug type. Tragically. Okay, so the book here says that this is extinct 100 million years ago. Fine. But this is one of the only Pokemon in the Pokedex that says that it's still alive and well. It explicitly says so. That's interesting. Who's first spray by hiding in seaweed? Does it by spraying with a venom strong enough to melt metal? Can't win by swimming. You have to hide in the seaweed towards your opponent. Okay, so they're really slow, so they have to camouflage. That's what that's saying. Bad alarm time. He's from clipboard. Damage tab. One thing that stands out in the mug. I'm intrigued and come closer. Oh, cool. Hides in the mud and uses its prominent lips to lure prey. Then clamps down on with its steel jagged fins. These lips, not the teeth. By the way, if you guys are enjoying, please like the stream. It really helps. Untail. Even the sea and lures prey with a flashing tail, which resembles a small fish. Another case of bad swimming ability. Oh, that's kind of neat. Use that to make cat toy critters into him. Confess hunting ingredient, indeed. Kind of seems a little nonchalant about it. There's a big smile on his face. Especially because he lost all his berries just now. I personally would not be happy. Oh, when I first opened the book. This is the page I first opened to. Pokemon really do eat each other. Oh yeah. Does not shy away from that. In fact, it's actually kind of bragging about it in a way, if that makes sense. We're gonna pull up an old image. Just looked at this one about a couple minutes ago. This one. Also, hello. How are you doing, Thomas? Aramambi is about to get eaten. Sometimes it will show them being eaten. Yep, Chingling is in this book. I figured. And over here. Whoops. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Tomorrow's my Friday, so. So you missed last stream? Oh, hi, John. You're all good. You don't have to miss it. You don't have to hit every stream. The dog's barking at something, though. That's kind of upsetting. Rumpler. This book is really good, John. Search of the souls of the dead. I wander around town. Look at the soul and light a fire. Amen. Yeah, you guys like Spider Cophagrigus? Anything really crazy yet? Yes. Huge is this. That is a nymph Relor. That is a baby Relor. That's not what Relor look like. That means that nymph forms and in-between forms, like transitionary stages, are confirmed in Pokemon. And, I don't remember what page. I have it written down. Like actually genuinely massive. Page 59. Did I look at this last night? I must have. Yeah, I totally did. Oh yeah, Kamala is birthed. Pokemon eggs are just a game mechanic. It's not... They don't actually all just lay eggs. Both of those are huge pieces of information. Sableye hunt Chingling? Possible. Get back to this page. Just to suck the life force out of people who accidentally drink it. By pretending it's holy tea. Well. Poor dude. He has itself as a Pokeball, but it's unclear if it's effective against Pokemon. I mean, that's kind of eye-catching color scheme and everything. Stunfisk does the same with similar color scheme. Not yet clear what effect his resemblance to a Pokeball will have. I'm trying to think if there are any animals that try to mimic, like, human stuff. I don't think so. Wonder what that would mean for water type Pokemon eggs. I'm just saying. Well, actually, I have no clue. But one big element it might mean is that, like, Wishy-Washy are a lot more reasonable because they can lay such large clutches, things like that. Actually huge information. That's why the title is not clickbait. There's some huge lore updates in this book, by which I am just delighted. And one or two that I hate, but hey. It's an inevitability, huh? Like types being confirmed to be a thing. They haven't talked about type effectiveness yet, fortunately. But type energy is something they've talked about. Disadvantage yourself by deceiving your opponent. This is interesting. This is a thing that some animals do in real life. There's a bird that really famously does this to defend its nest. It'll pretend to be injured, so predators walk up a little bit more nonchalantly, and then when they get close to it, it just flies away. Tends to be injured to confuse the opponent and takes the opportunity to escape. Yeah, exactly what that says. Interesting that Houndour actually hunt Vulpix, though. Pretty big information. A confused blue crow. That crow looks very confused. Entire forest. When it encounters an enemy, a bird Pokemon, it pretends to be an apple to protect itself. Okay, you know what? Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of that. Never mind. How many pages are in this book? I'm actually about halfway through. There are... So these pages at the end that are just kind of really quick Pokedex entries, I think. You know, I'm gonna translate one on my phone real quick to find out what these pages exactly are supposed to be. It's some sort of index, it seems. I don't know how Japanese people organize their books. It does seem to be just singular Pokedex entries. Hang on, what does the top of this page say? Pokemon that appear in this book. Okay. Location, height. Wait. His name, voice description. Below can we see? Yeah, okay. Yep, it's just random Pokedex entries. Excluding those pages. That's a loud car. I don't know if you guys can hear that. 165. Just about. 164. We're at 86. Last night we read about 30 pages. 25, 20. I think Vulpix is cool. Yes, I agree. Harder to notice in summer, but easy to get caught in winter. That sure is. Body structure closer to that of a rock than of a plant. I wonder if that's the case. Closer to rocks and stone. What is its body just rock-like and stone-ish? Fishing for a Zorua. Zorua can disguise itself as a human or other Pokemon, hiding its true identity to protect itself from danger. Yep. That's mimicry. In a very weird form. It's kind of hard to talk about that mimicry because they literally cast, disguise self. But that's a very common sight in the natural world. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if hissing was every animal trying to imitate a snake or a gator. And that's why everything just hisses. Was that Pokemon in the background? Where? Of Sudowoodo? I don't see a Pokemon back there. Bushes down here. Trees over here. Don't see it. Why children specifically? Why not something stronger like an adult? Or stronger Pokemon? I think it's because they like to play with children. If you have ever... There's actually a Pokemon movie that talks about a Zoroark. That disguises as Raikou, Entei, and Suicune to try and get its child back. It's a nice movie. Is it great? No. It's like one great Pokemon movie. It's not great, it's just okay. Fake eyes. Organs for communication. No. No, they're not. Top left. Hang on, I'll grab that again. Top left is Sudowoodo. I think you saw text smearing all weird. Here's the page. Sudowoodo. Top left. It's just text. You probably saw this smearing. Exterior opponents in the body. Exterior opponents who mistake them for realizing and they use the opportunity to get prayer escape from it. Okay. Communication is probably a mistranslation of some sort. That says there's supposed to be an eye. You see it now? I thought it was like a third head as a kid. I thought this was a Hydreigon situation. Dude, you're immune to Scissor's intimidation strategy. How do you feel? Feel great? Wonderful. Where are the real eyes of this Pokemon? I actually don't know for some of these. I mean, like, some of these are just hidden. I just thought it was a weird design choice. No. Generation 2 loves the bug Pokemon. Generation 2 specifically. So these are Ridley's eyes. I'm like 99% sure. I think these are supposed to be fake eyes down here. Oh, no, wait, no. It's those yellow circles. It's just hard to see in this image. Trying to fool you. But those are Barbaricle's eyes. He just has more. Next page looks like it's going to be really cool. Specialized structures. Woo! These are the Pokemon I cover with membranes. They have special powers. Oh, come on, man. Almost. Guessing that's a mistranslation. All eyes are gathered together. Compound eyes. Moving radar in bright places, you can see that the large object is made up of a cluster of small eyes. I wonder here This is a Yama can see in all directions. I wonder. Okay, it does say large eyes. Wait, no. Without them. I wonder if all of that green is eye, whether that's compound eye. No, because it says without large eyes. Well, hang on, I'm gonna translate this directly on the phone. It's the same translator, but sometimes if you just focus on the paragraph, it helps. Context can change a lot of stuff in the Japanese language. Okay, they are large eyes. So it looks like the green is actually the eye. Or at least it's a moth situation. Some moths and other insects actually have compound and simple eyes. That what could be happening here. Makes sense, because yeah, Mega has compound eyes. Only second patterns from the eye, patterns on the inside of the ear. It hides this power. So is it one eyes or two eyes? It's two sets. Oh, but that right there, like the lack of it pinching, that's what you mean? I have no clue. And using special lenses in its eyes, it can sense the opponent's body temperature and other factors to identify weak spots. Its nictating membrane is a scope. Oh. They need to make another Pokemon game with Inteleon so that I have more content to actually make an episode on. Because that sounds like it's awesome. Plain snapshot, yeah. Also means that they're probably really weak to predation, because if you damage that, they can't really do anything. Kind of like a cheetah. Cheetahs have very fragile lives. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It seems like this page talks about camouflage. You know, I'm not sure to whom this book is exactly marketed. It seems to be children. It talks about a lot of really complex interactions. It talking about death does not make it enough for kids. A lot of people need to shed that notion. They're not able to handle topics like death correctly. You know, if you say like, yeah, you're gonna die, and then play the Bad to the Bone riff, kids are not gonna like that. They're not gonna respond favorably. But when I was teaching down in Lexington a few years ago, I would say that the animals are dead. Like, I'd be holding their skulls, talking about how they eat other animals, things like that. Twice ever did I have a child cry. Only twice ever. And it was everything from kindergarten through, like, 8th grade. So, kids can handle death. So that's not necessarily what I mean. The biggest thing that I think makes this not really marketable to kids is they're covering a lot of really complex topics. And I guess they're doing it in a way that a child could understand. But it's still pretty cool. That's just part of life? Exactly. Massive shout out to Wild Robot. If you have not seen that movie, go watch that movie. It's amazing, and it handles death in a really nice and casual way. Like, you know, it's not hard to explain camouflage to a child, and here that is exactly happening. That's not a Weedle. Love that movie. Made you cry 3 times on the first watch. I'm a dead broken person. It did not make me cry, but it got really close. And oh my goodness, that movie is genetically engineered to make adoptive mothers cry. Like, could you imagine being an adoptive mom and watching that movie? Oh, that probably hurts. Like, oh, amazing movie. Love that movie. It's not perfect. There are 3 climaxes. It's very exhausting. Oh no! Also, Mojumbo is a delightful name. Or Cubone. About to get eaten again. John, you missed last stream. But throughout this entire book, Cubone have just been getting domed constantly. It's terrible. It's so sad. Did I explain Cubone at all yet? No, but he's been around quite a bit. Hopefully we'll get there. And I'm hoping that it like confirms the Kangaskhan situation. What's the colors of other buildings, making it easy to live in a city? Unique! Jupiter. Hang on, I did not advertise this stream in the West Marches thing. 1 second. The video URL. 1 second. I meant to do this ages ago. Yeah, stream alert. Reading amazing Pokemon Ecology book. Here we go. Cool. Alright, next page. Page is a little sparse, but it looks like we're gonna get something real good out of this. Okay, I thought my camera was broken for a second, and you'll see what I mean. Next page has an picture of Typhlosion at the bottom. An image. And I thought my camera was wigging out for some reason. Because massive lead up to not that interesting. He's just blurry. The blast of fire creates a heat haze with scorching flames to hide your figure. Oh, that's intentional. That's pretty cool. As much as I hate the use of fire in the biology, I mean, like, it's a thing that has to happen, but that's a really cool idea, is that they crank up the heat to camouflage themselves. Not camouflage, but obscure. So cool. And with the zoomer up here, we see some pretty common counter shading. This could be a good emote. Hang on. That right there looks like it's a pretty good emote. Water molecules, they become invisible when dissolved in water. I hate that so much. We're quietly in the... Is this the first EV lotion? Is that a pun because it, like, is watery? Or is that a mistyping of evolution in your phone? Gotcha. This is not the first evolution. And unfortunately, they are about the same as always. Except this book actually there's another lore drop from this book. Eevee doesn't need the evolution stones to evolve. It just evolves when it's in extreme habitats. So if it lives in like a casual forest, it probably just stays in Eevee or like a plains. But when it is in like a really watery habitat or something like that, that is when it would evolve. That's really cool. Really big, because that means that it does not rely on a radioactive stone to evolve. Can you imagine having to swallow uranium ore in order to actually turn into an adult? Terrible, terrible, terrible. That makes sense? It makes so much more sense. We have a big page on poison type Pokemon here. Hang on. I wish I had a better way to do this, but I really don't. I'm just taking pictures of the book and uploading them to Google Images. But we'll never get a flying type EV. Can air be an extreme environment? Wind tunnel. Poison type is purple. Poison type Pokemon are often purple. If you see purple Pokemon, cautious, thinking it might be poisonous. That is a lot of purple Pokemon. Stringer high eggplant and Stringer low eggplant form. Very true. Harry man. Very funny translations here. Doggers. Love me a terrible translation. Arbok hunt Nuzleaf? Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know, because Arbok aren't in the Gen 3 games, so they might not share habitat. Like, that might be a trend. They could theoretically. I was just gonna find the real lie. Oh, this is the result. Yeah, whole bunch of eyes. Those aren't exactly eyes, but yeah. Those are the real eyes, those are the fake eyes. Naval Dynamo. Sounds like a really funny name. Hang on. Okay, cool. Oh, those are the real eyes. Those are just patterns. Okay. Next page. This may not be a good picture. No, it's good. Okay. Territory with a radius of several kilometers do not allow other Fletchenders to enter. And now hunt Caterpie? Yeah, we actually saw that earlier. Any Pokemon from his territory with its princes and throw them away. Strong sense of territory. An enemy approaches the mountain, they shake the ground and attack. Interesting that they would have territorial disputes. I like that. Wonder who wins that. What if the pincers are enough to hold them through their slipperiness? I've not been recording. Interesting information. Oh, well. Your money's on Wishcash? Bro. Put me onto the, Froth. Fraudon, that's what it is. See another bird. Prey spotted. Dude, it's you. Later. Not yet. How's it going, Reggie? How you doing today? We got Tapu Bulu on this page. I'm telling you, man, crustaceans would be a lot more threatening if they were just big enough to be threatening. Beast. The pungent poisonous smell to keep him from his territory. Interesting. Interesting that the Shroodles also claim territory. Dawn, they announced their territory with eerie howls. That's cool. I really like Houndour. Pokemon. I thought that said Capra. But no. Okay. Well, these grass will set to communicate territory. That's pretty neat. Nuzleaf too. And I have not written notes in like 15 pages, which is a mistake. Hang on. Before. Proudmount. Whiscash. Territory battle. So, I did see the new Mega John. What about it? I think the best way I can explain my opinion of that new Mega is by saying there's not much I can even say about it. If you're looking for a more nuanced or elaborated opinion, it feels tongue-in-cheek in almost a Dunsparce situation, where Dunsparce, at least to me, felt like a friendly in-joke. Yeah, Dragonite feels like, here, you want Dragonite, here's your Dragonite, here's Dragonite, but it's a little bit more Dragonite. And I don't like that. I will probably be getting ZA just because the lore in it will be good, and because I'm becoming a Le Epic content creator. I need to actually have, you know, content to create. Biggest thing is that it kind of puts a deadline on the Hisui video, because I need to get that out while, you know, Legends Arceus is still kind of relevant. I mean, it's not, but, you know, before ZA takes over. Axie marked the territory by scratching with fangs, which is pretty cool. That they do it by cutting the trees. That they will actually live in groups in mountains training, which is pretty cool. Like, as youth, they live together. As nymphs. And Zigzagoon, of course. Zigzag Bear? Adorable. Smeargle paint with fluids. I can't believe Smeargle got power crept by Grafii for being interesting. Like in the interesting meter. Adding an image. How do you feel about Mega Dragonite though, John? I think it's kind of funny that its design sucks so bad people just threw away any slight care for spoilers. Like, imagine trying to go spoiler free and then everybody's talking about Mega Dragonite. Never take the area by intimidating or attacking. Not bad, it's just not good. Yeah. The beautiful song is a threat. That's kind of funny. I can tell, but that's about it. Yeah. I can agree with that. Oh, that is some sick art on the... Hang on. Okay, this isn't the next page. It's in the next page. I'm taking a picture of this, and... Why did the flash turn on all of a sudden? Hang on, hang on. OS from Pokemon Ecology book. Fletchling content? Yeah, Fletchling content. Apparently the songs that they sing are territorial songs. Or can be. Seems like a can be situation. Reggie, you like Scolipede, right? Not this page, but the next page. Something crazy. This page is good, though. It's also short. These the Rattatas and formed groups. Groups do not get along well with each other and fight fiercely over feeding. Interesting. Scolipede, yeah. Rushed to search for food throughout the town by smell for the leader of the pack. The flocks collided at the hunting grounds and a fight began. Take up iron ore and eat it. See about to develop for drinking a lot of nutritious spring water. I am like 99% sure I actually said this in my Aeron video. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Data. Oriole. And then... Could I hunt Drapion? Yes, that was in this book earlier. You were there for that. Here comes the really cool art, Reggie. Take a look at this. Oh, but it's way too blurry. This might be funky. Look at that. That's awesome. And unfortunately, this seems like a handedly won fight by Scorch. Like the lighting on this page, right? Very cool. It seems like Scolipede also, by the way, hunts by wrapping around its prey, and that's what these claws are. It's kind of funny that they both do it. But according to the bottom here, it's actually a territory dispute. And it seems like it's not necessarily always in the Discorch's favor. It's very cool art. I really like this art. Giant shark also fights by heating parts of its body. Yeah. I'm sure Giant Shark does. And Discorch is 100% getting poisoned. It absolutely is right now. As our these right here are poisonous, I think. Yes. That's what that bubble says. The one right by the magnifying glass. There's a Tinkaton in this page. Not really doing much. But it is here. Has the book say anything on Pokemon lifespans, or just how they live day by day? Just day by day. Honestly, even in wildlife biology, it's not really important how long an animal lives. Like, it is a little bit, especially in the case of something like elephants. But like, they either get eaten or they don't. Compete with Quagsire. I'm guessing that's supposed to be Heracross. Or something else. Never mind, it's not supposed to be Heracross. There's no way that's supposed to be Quagsire. Hang on, I'm busting at the phone for this one. It's Quagsire, apparently. That's... So weird. Why does it say Quagsire there? And just on the phone, too. What little mouse can sneak up on its prey without making a sound. Interesting that these two hunt the same prey. I wonder if they hunt each other? Possibly not, because they're about the same size. Do we have to have a predator in the book? It hasn't talked about it yet. Sharper than a sword, fights with bald armor gar. Think of the game, they are rivals. Quagsire? Oh, Liepard people. Siren body may look heavy, but it is thin and light, allowing it to fly at high speeds. Duraludon is not Duraludon. Siren leisurely, unfazed by wings. Tinkaton sometimes uses its hammer to knock rocks flying and aim for the armored birds over here. Very funny. Glad that that's in the book. I'm guessing that's not supposed to be Dodrio over here. Just hates steel flying types. It hates steel types at all. A Probopass steals its hammer earlier. This is Helidor when I use my phone to check. Delmise? No, okay. It is supposed to be Toxapex. This right here is Toxapex. Using psychic powers to attack something that happens to be a poison type does not mean that this is acknowledging type-based hunting. It does not acknowledge it, and I will never acknowledge it. Unless this book explicitly does, and even then, I'm probably still not going to anyway. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Not that it's a problem. If people do it in my comments, I'm happy to encourage it. I will never do it. I don't like it. I don't want the fire wizard to be predated by the ice wizard or something. Worcester hunting Toxapex is nothing new. Like their whole thing. The Berkshire kind of apex predators of that area in Alola. Pretty cool though. This is a fight. Looks like they're happy about it. Putting our territory with stuffed monkeys. Over cozy tree. Tree's rich in berries, so we cannot give it up. Well then don't throw the berries, man. This is a pretty funny picture though. I like that. What do they fight over territory? Let's look at how Pokemon fight over territory. It turns out they have similar characteristics. They have comfortable places and preferred types of food. They will fight over it, and the winner will be able to make it their territory. The potato. I love this territory dispute in Pokemon because it is kind of like a competing for the same food source situation, but not quite. If that makes sense. Potato. And I'm gonna do a photo. I wish I could illustrate how hard it is to pick pictures of single pages of paperback books. Very difficult, very frustrating. Sharp is not aware. It looks like he's either not aware or he's commanding the army to attack, but it is hard to tell which is which. Paste. Lack of Pokemon. What's been the coolest new info besides the nymph stages of Pokemon? Probably the egg thing. And if that also doesn't count, the Eevee thing. If that doesn't count, hang on. I have a notepad of all the interesting stuff I'm finding, like the really interesting stuff. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the more it is button info correctly. I'm gonna take a picture of it real quick, just because I love this page. There we go. Not translating it. No need. So So, hippos in real life have oxpeckers. What number of animals have oxpeckers? That's not how that works. There are oxpeckers that are sometimes on hippos. Because Pokemon loves to mimic real-life ecology in so many different ways. Dwebble! Fill that role. The sand that is inhaled by Hippowdon, sometimes there's rocks in it, which is really bad for them. But Dwebble actually clean out the rocks, because they try to make a home in here. And it protects them from Drapion that would otherwise eat them. Also, shellless Dwebble. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay. If you're talking about more like mundane stuff, because the Eevee thing is massive implications. That's manure. Human groups of 4 to 5. Leave signs on rocks and trees. Communicate how to catch prey. I don't know what that says exactly, but that's what that is. Archeops. Kind of interesting. I wonder if this is the benefit of them walking. Like, I know that they're in a sort of transitionary stage between flying and not flying. Whalo? Wero. All these, like, occasional mistranslations off to the side are so funny to me. Like, woohoo! Over on the side over here. Woohoo! Over the water to chase their prey, creating splashes of water. Instead of them jumping in groups is very impressive. Where a whale is Whalelord. This is always a very cool. I love Weavile's hunting. I know it's a little edgy, but hey. Ooh, we got to turn around here. Mr. Mighty Fracture? Yeah, probably. What's the purpose of the red crown, if I had to guess? Well, not a true fan's not seen my video. Sorry, that was mean. I do not mind if you have not seen every single video of mine, especially because the videos are getting like, the catalog's getting expansive. My theory for the red crowns is that it is some form of communication in a way, not like a big thing, but a little bit similar to, like, I'm the oldest, I have the biggest crown, I'm in charge. I have the healthiest diet, I'm the one that leads the pack. Sort of deal. That's my guess. Because the solitary Sneasler does not have a crown, instead it just has the hair. The one hair. Being to friends with the tail. Dude, you were terrible watch, man. Place biting with his large jaws. The dial, which targets eggs. Also Ianto's natural enemy. Yeah, some animals use their horns as a sign. A little bit, yeah. Antlers are typically going to be that, but horns are also that very often. Here is an entirely Japanese live stream of what seems to be Pokemon music. Generation 1 through 7. Let me know if that's too loud, too quiet. We're arguing against the flock. When they gather in flocks, their cries become very loud. But yeah, essentially, I think it's some sort of show-off of status. They'll take on the role of fighting back against the natural enemy, the Italan, moved away from the nest. That guy. Kind of interesting turnaround, like the anteater has to be the careful one in this situation. Pretty cool. Although when as we get the join forces, they can become sea monsters. Is the turnabout I was talking about. This is one of my favorite jokes in New Snap. In New Snap, the Wishy-Washy are all swimming away from this Wailord way off in the distance, and then it rounds around a corner like a deep sea fissure, and then it comes back as a giant Wishy-Washy chasing the Wailord instead. Very funny. Massive shout out to New Snap, man. Ooh, this is a cool page. Did they eat Wailord? Yeah. It seems like it. Maybe not, though. I don't remember what Wishy-Washy's diet is off the top of my head, if it's ever stated anywhere. But my guess is that it's typical fish diet, which is just whatever fits in their mouth. A lot of teamwork to make it happen. Yes. But with how often they are predated, there's a whole lot of them. It's kind of easy to start that teamwork up. I also think it's a really cool inversion of how the inspiration affects themselves in real life. Where they do form these clouds in real life, but it's not to attack, it's to defend. But here they use it to attack. Very cool. Weavile hunting on page 102. Very cool. Weavile hunting is not new information, but it's cool information all the same. And this seems to be about pack living. Or familial structures. Family structures. The group's large has an advantage in fights, can help each other in times of trouble. However, leaders needed. They need to share food equally, lead the group. Leaders will never share food equally, if you know anything about that sort of thing. Not only will they take most for themselves, they also just don't divide it evenly. There are usually favored individuals, things like that. Live in groups of about 20. Survive in the harsh natural environment by performing specific roles. Pretty neat. Ocelots tend to go hunting, and the food they catch is shared equally among the other members of the pack. That's really cool. Only one has risen to the army. The top of an army can evolve into King Gambit. He uses his own hair to sit around and do nothing all day. Sometimes a group gather together to form a large group. When it runs to the top, becomes King Gambit. Hang on, there's a number here. No, there's not a number here. It just seems to have translated oddly. But I'm going to take out my phone and translate this directly. He's not good at difficult strategy, so he pushes forward with force. Hilarious. We have more Apum fighting Simeon on this page. I think the hair would be pretty tough too. I don't know if it would be tough as steel. It looks like a rock in Gen 9. What hunt Poniard? The Axew line does. They probably have other things as well. I don't think I talked about that much in my Poniard video. I was just trying to rush out a video in that case. Yeah, to be honest, that video was rushed. It's not very good. I don't like it very much. But I also don't like King Gambit very much, so I don't mind that much. That it sucks. I didn't even talk about him because he was not even a year old at that point. He was like 6 months old. There's some elements of that video that I like, though. I'll give it that. Berries are the weapon and staple food. The one who can throw berries the furthest among the group is the boss. By using hard nuts. Yeah. Ogres around 20 individuals. It's the same page as the last page. Interesting that they use paint from leaves to actually mark up which team they're on. And this is the other half of the battle that was on the left page. Pretty cool group tactics from them. Always been a fan of that. 1 second. Wish Tinkertuff was in the background. Me too. Copy. Paste. Large group versus one Tinkertuff. Large group wins. Tinkertuff is not that good of a fighter. The Tinkertuff glazing has caused serious issues for the Tinkertons community. Go goat. Suppose so. Ooh. Now that's a cool thing to put in the Pokemon Ecology book. Houndoom is biting the neck of an inferior right there. That is nasty. Like, not nasty in a literal, gross way. I'm also going to translate the text play because that does not sound like it's correct. Will it burn it? Probably. Their fires are actually toxic too. Phone, why did you crash when I opened up the Notes app? That does not seem like it would happen. Ferocious? Houndoom. Fight. 106. That pain will never go away? Yes. It does say that. Probably because it caused some sort of strange nerve damage in the area or something. Oh, that's a clear picture right there. Getting better at this over time. Could have been temporary. I had knee surgery about a decade ago, and still hurts sometimes. There's some toxins in the mix, and it's a burn instead. Yeah, that's gonna hurt forever, man. Not engage in unnecessary fights, but we're loosely to defeat any enemy that threatens the safety of the flock. Those are usually lazy. When strong enemy attacks, they protect their comrades without regard for their own safety. Yes, okay, so I had thought earlier maybe this is like real life lines. Yes, it is. Used to be a Pokemon fan until I took a knee surgery to the shin. I used to be a Pokemon fan until they stopped making good games. Like, the games were never phenomenal, but at least they used to care. AI Whale? Can't believe Pokemon uses AI art. Bad joke. Lame joke. Ilio hunting the whale? That doesn't seem to be what's happening here now. Seems to be that they were moving between territories and had an unfortunate run-in with each other. Perhaps it's a time of low food or something. Ooh, Samurot's on this page. Cute whale? This is a cute whale. Also got some Strika here. Some Gen 5 love on this page. Love to see it. Pokemon Company surely won't give it. Gen 5 love is strong this year. Is it? Ouch, my foot. Have I not been keeping up with Pokemon content? How is Gen 5 love good? Very strong this year. I know there's Gen 6 from ZA, but the anime do something? What is the Tinker Love line? I still don't know, dude. Trigger strength to hone his skills. Nature leads the pack numerously by beating down anyone that doesn't follow the rules. Goodness. Why is it not normally a dark type? Our game released a Gem 5 pack recently. Oh, there we go. Over in the distance, her begins moving all at one side of the command. Been all over your For You page. I've been meaning to get into the card game. Zebra Squid. I'm gonna translate that tiny little text up there because it does not look like it translated properly. Or maybe it did and it just displayed. It's really strange. Breaks away from the herd and come on, man. The Google Lens app is terrible at focusing. Okay. It's Google. I wasn't aware Google was known for poor quality. Like the search engine kind of is kind of bad now, but learns how to fight and catch prey by imitating Goro, who regards as his boss. Yeah. Filling water balloons with song and melodies learned by its peers and passed down through the herd from generation to generation. Really cool. This sort of thing is very popular. Like, not more. It's not very common in animals. This happens sometimes. Cougars, for example, have to learn hunting from their parents. They want ferret. Is zebra question a real question? Good question. Um, there is actually an answer to that. Don't remember the answer, but there is an answer to that. And technically, it's not black; it's brown. I have an image of a zebra. Believe it or not, that's just a kind of dark brown. Whooper Uber. Ooh. Well, the thickest, longest, and most damaged horn is the leader of the group. Dark green skin, quick feet. Have a nice one. Might Iena eat ferret? Probably true. Oh, this just talks about how leaders are chosen in packs. Big copy. By the way, if you're enjoying the stream, please leave a like. It really helps out. Also helps spread the learning far and wide. Lily Piplup might be the reason they're rare. They're rare because their entire environment has been destroyed, actually. I have a video on that coming out eventually. Queen's final form she will never get to reach. Oops, I closed down my thing. Flies by scattering electric currents using a cloak-like membrane. Oh, Donna just got you what you were referencing. Yeah, it's so sad. For anyone curious, there was a Nuzlocke we did a while ago, and there was a Goldie named Queen that lasted a surprisingly long time for being a Goldie, but unfortunately did not make it. A Hydreigon Pyroline? Yes, we saw that earlier. That was a couple pages back. The Queen carried? She did. She actually did. More ghost types on this page. Anyway, actually, I'm kind of interested in the mass spawning, so I'm going to put that. King mass spawning. Text is blurry. Hopefully it doesn't spit out some nonsense. Golf. MVC to ask, but you've been streaming for an hour and a half. How am I feeling? Feeling not bad. A little thirsty, but I have water and coffee right next to me, so hang on. You'll have resentment and grudges, John. From tree branches and live by absorbing moisture. Line up on large young trees. Is it going to be young? By the way, if you guys want, in the coming days, I'm definitely putting some of the images in this book as emotes because they'd be really funny. So if you want them, become a channel member. I recommend it. It's pretty awesome. Should be streaming more often soon. Yeah, like the Musharna that was just sitting there, sleeping, but it has a really good face, really funny face. It's cute. Sunkerns gather in. That's not a sunkern. Firstly, gather in the warm oceans, become a safe haven for smaller Pokemon. The water temperature drops, then move south. Yeah, Pokemon don't always translate well. Sometimes they do, but sometimes not quite. If you get too close to open the branches on your head and suck out your life force, that's almost as bad as real life tumbleweeds. What the heck? Dude. What is Wingull doing? Probably looking around for food, but no food to be found. Pokemon, also known as horror at every turn. Yeah. Pokemon are typically not the nicest. Or at least not the safest. Whether they're intending to or not. You know. Communicate with their companions using magnetic wavelengths. When they move as a group, they move in perfect unison. Yeah, a habit known as synchronization. All members of the flock attack simultaneously in perfect unison. Oh, that guy's cooked. Live in a Orochi, live in an apple that is made of candy. I'm guaranteeing you that's a typo because it's only 5. Where Bledum? I don't see what you're referencing on here. Now, a lot of tiny different life forms coming together and being one. I mean, people know of jellyfish quite famously. It's not exactly what's happening with jellyfish. Close enough, but not quite. At least close enough to justify it happening in Pokemon. That's true. You know, I'm definitely gonna include the kid getting attacked by a bunch of flamingos. Kind of funny. Wreck-It Ralph? What about it? Ooh, one last page before a chapter change. I'm a big fan of this rendition of the Gem 4 theme. Oh my goodness, hang on. Abilities, how many chapters are there? Guessing a lot? You'd be wrong, actually. This next chapter is the last chapter. We're not finishing it tonight. That'll be another 2 hours. So, final page of Pokemon Interactions is here. We're gonna take a peep at the next chapter, at least. Especially since I'm kind of curious what it means by ability. Because if it means flame body and things like that, then ooh. Oh, that's right, I did this wrong. Sounds like I have a next stream planned already. Kind of, because I actually need this video done by Sunday. You know what? Yeah, I could do this tomorrow night. Yes. Tomorrow is another stream. Communications. Making noise with each other, using light to communicate. Telepathy. Brownie face. Well, yeah, that white tag on Stuffle's butt is a scent organ. Which is pretty cool. And then we have a really big page I'm going to try to get one giant picture of. And copy. Paste. Okay. Think. Why are you here? No. Not happy about that. Very unhappy about that, actually. Yeah, I love them, dude. I love their goofy little walk. Don Juan? What? What did it... This is gonna be the name of every Don fan from now until the end of time, though. Don Juan. That tickles me greatly. Oh, excellent. We have a page about Pokemon movement speed up here. Hang on. I'm actually skipping a page real quick. I'll go back to it, I promise. Just because jellyfish running is cursed, that's not a jellyfish, that's a no-no jellyfish. It's actually a mushroom. I love that the Japanese name is no-no jellyfish. Approximately 417 kilometers an hour. Dude. Did they power creep his own speed? No, hang on, I actually think they nerfed it. No, they didn't. Sigh. 720,000 kilometers per hour. Sigh. You ever wonder why I haven't covered a Pokemon yet? Sometimes. That's all it takes for me to just turn away and not look at them ever again. 300 kilometers an hour is a lot more reasonable. 300 kind of is, but like not for running. I want to. Well, here, hang on. Here's the next page, like the actual next page. That skipped the page we just looked at. Skipped a page. This is the actual next page, and then I'm gonna jump forward a couple, just to see if this is only about movement speed. To see if I'm just gonna be a hater for a whole chapter. You know what I mean? Long, well-developed legs, and very strong leg muscles. And some can run across the ground at incredible speeds. Yeah. Some are tentacle, but completely different species. Legs are thin, but once it starts running, can reach up to 50 kilometers an hour. That's reasonable. Running the tail and throat to expand, to helping to maintain posture. I actually love that. I love this design. I know that people think it's dumb that they have a bicycle face. I really like it. I kind of hope that they just become the movement from now on. Like I know Koraidon and Miraidon were, but I would love to ride around on just a Cyclizar. 120 kilometers an hour, that's what, like 50% of 120. Like 70 something mile an hour, 80. Reach top speed in just 10 steps. No, you don't. Cool. Train needs to get out. Yeah, you would actually get seriously injured from that, but I mean, this is Pokemon. Okay, it seems to just be about locomotion in general. There's a page on flying. There's also a page on Great Timothy, a Great Tuscathy. That's pretty nice. Okay, I'm not gonna just be a hater this chapter. There's a little bit of cool stuff in here, it looks like. Frankly, it actually looks like we might be able to get through this stream. Because these pages are really sparse on information. But no, I'm definitely going to do this tomorrow. Thank you all for coming by. This is really fun. We have one more chapter to do, and then we're pretty much done. After that, it is a whole lot of just singular dex entries, and what looks to vaguely be an index. It doesn't look like every single Pokemon is represented. Kind of sad, but hey. It's alright. Thank you all for coming by. Tomorrow, it's going to be reading this, and probably Pokerogue. Pokerogue sounds fun. Could also do a Nuzlocke? Anyone who's in chat, what should we do tomorrow? Yeah, about 3 minutes to respond. Bye-bye. But in a couple days, this should be a video talking about the book as a whole, my opinions on it, things like that, what I like, what I don't like, all of that. Can we be friends? Sure. Stop by the streams often. I don't stream often, but I'm gonna try to stream more often. We will see though. By the way, look at this. Concurrent views 17, concurrent views 15. Number 1, high viewer numbers. Hello everyone. I really like that you guys are around. Makes me feel good. Number 2, why is it disagreeing? Anyway, yeah, stream tomorrow. You still have about 2.5 minutes to choose what I do. Rogue, if you didn't know, is really fun. It is honestly, it's a little bit like Pokemon Slay the Spire, if you know what Slay the Spire is. There's also Emerald Rogue, which is a little bit more like a traditional roguelike. Oh. Am I login? That is my login. Yep, okay, sweet. Pretty fun game. It's waves, things like that. Really fun. It could be enjoyable. Same time, vaguely. I nap after work. Sorry, I had to do something. Hi, John. Bad news. We are ending stream. We do have the last chapter to do. It's about locomotion, and that's going to be tomorrow, followed by some other stuff. Oh, what's the options? Really anything. Nuzlocke, Rogue, Professor Oak Challenge, Emerald Rogue. You guys have ideas? I'm also open to suggestions. Just because, like, you know, I want to do what you guys want to watch. I love Pokemon. I have played Pokemon literally every single day of my life for the past nearly 2 decades. I got grounded at one point, so the streak's been broken, but for most of my life, I've played Pokemon every single day. Infinite Fusion, you mean? That could be an option. Rogue sounds fun. Is he running joke at this point? I'm at least going to throw it into a mix. Like, it's going to be a thing. Maybe each stream we vote for the next stream game. That could be really fun. Shout out to my brother holding off on being loud until the very end of stream. That's actually really appreciated. Yeah, it sounds like Rogue tomorrow. And then after that, we're just going to vote per day what people want to watch. So if you want to watch, you know, like, what is that called? Professor Oak content. Come by and vote for it. Anyway. 15 seconds. Thank you all for stopping by. It really means a lot to me. Like, hang on. This is gonna seem like a brag. I don't mean it to be. I gotta drink this a little bit so that I can see chat. Or Cubone. Yeah, Cubone got harassed this stream. Hello. That's not what this is. Studio. The support on videos recently has been crazy. Like, look at this. 21,000 views in the last 28 days is huge. It's a ton. I am just stunned by this. I have been making money from these videos, and it's amazing. Hi, Zane. Stream is literally in the process of ending. I'm just being sappy right now. The channel's really starting to take off. I'm super happy about it. And I'm looking forward to where this goes. Again, video this Sunday. Should be one next Sunday. It seems like we're about to actually start the weekly videos. Things just got a little rocky because I hired a second editor. But he was not used to this style of content, so we kind of had to, you know, kind of had to get over that road bump. Oh, you meant goodbye? Oh, yeah, that's right. Aloha means goodbye and hello. At least according to Phineas and Ferb. Alright. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy the rest. Well, I almost said enjoy the rest of the zoo. Jesus Christ. Alright, good night.